Okay. Okay. So I'm basically a cancer surgeon who have done years and years of cancer surgery with other surgery, of course. But then I decided some things in my life made a change, and that's how it all started. Okay. Someone in my family had what I would call it as a pre-cancerous condition for which there is no medical treatment. So I decided that I'm going to look around, look for information outside the medical area, see what I can do to improve the health of my relative. This is how it all started. You can say this is me now. So trying to promote mainly a plant-based diet and lifestyle with other changes. This is how you can maintain a youth, health, and longevity. So you can actually reverse your aging by following some simple steps. So for that, you need to know, in my days as a child, I remember there was one sugar uncle. We call him sugar uncle because he was a diabetic. Now, every house in my village has got a sugar uncle. And I think it's the same everywhere. So why are these diseases so rampant? You have to say that there are fantastic facilities. We have multi-specialty hospitals offering all sorts of care and so much advances in medical management. But why are we besieged by so many diseases? And this is why one of the points I want to address. The mechanism by which you get the diseases. Is it possible, if at all, how we can reverse such disease? Or can we prevent such illness? If yes, how? And it's not just something that you can't practice. Simple and practical diet and lifestyle plan for most. And all I want you to be is aware. It's awareness that's more important. That's what I'm trying to create. From here, it's almost certainly, most definitely, we're going to reach there. But some of you may never reach that area. So how we can make sure to progress gracefully without any major illness. That's one of the things I want to focus on. We all think we're healthy, but this could be you. So we know obesity is a modern curse, and this can lead to many, many illness. These people certainly will be interested in finding out how they can improve themselves. But this could be you also, young and fit and athletic and daring and ready to do anything. But should I be here or should I go out and do something else more energetic? But in fact, I would say you should be here listening to this lecture. However boring it may be, you are likely to benefit from it. So this is what my emphasis is on going to be. So we all think it won't be me. I'm not going to have any problem. I'm healthy, fit, and healthy. But it could be any of you in a bed like this. And the bad news is not the cancer. It's not the chemo. It's the medical bills. It's going to hit you even before that. Okay? So the weapon of mass destructions doctors have can be destroying you as well as the disease. So before we talk about the humans, this is the reality in the world. In Arctic Circle, meters and meters of ice. Could you believe you can have a spontaneous fire outburst in an Arctic Circle? It does happen. So even though the temperature can be -20, -30, slight increase in temperature can lead to spontaneous fire. But What people don't know is the simmering fire underneath. So people think the fire is spontaneous, but it's not. This has been simmering underneath meters of ice for years. That's exactly what is happening in the human body too. So there has been postmortems done in the modern world in children as young as 8, routine postmortem for death from other causes like road traffic accident. And what they find is shocking. The low-grade fire or evidence of it is there in a child as young as 8-year-old. So I'm sure most of you will be older than 8. So don't think you are 100% healthy. There's going to be some low-grade fire simmering on. So you need to try and put it out rather than let it simmer on and come on to life later on. Okay? So this fire is called zombie fire. The zombie fire is well known to indigenous communities and researchers. Raja, can you mute everybody, please?
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay.
Just
So,
hold on.
shall I continue?
Just hold on.
Unmute and mute everybody. One click. That's all it needs. Okay. Anyway, it's quiet now. I'll carry on you when you do that.
Okay.
So, we monitor, learn. This is what I've done. Monitored and learned. Test. This is initially for a few people, but that test process has been very successful. And I'm here now, happy to share with all of you. And it's up to you to act. Okay. I can't do anything, but it's up to you to act. If you find that what I say is really practicable and is it possible and is it going to harm you? Certainly, I can assure you, nobody will be harmed by what I suggest. So it's no harm done. It's a win-win formula. If you don't win, you might be as you are. So try it. Okay? This is almost like a magic trick. Not quite, almost like a magic trick. So, can you teach me this magic? Yes. Let's see. Is it expensive to join the group or practice this suggestions? No. It's totally free. Come on, guys, keep quiet. Raja, you should be able to mute all of them.
Hello. Hello, who is this? Can you stop? Don't talk.
There's a meeting going on. If you want to attend, please attend silently and turn your volume off, please. Okay. Is it expensive to join the group or practice these suggestions? No, it's totally free. Did I invent it? No. It's a so-called secret. It's been known for over 6,000 years, and we are only reinventing and reinforcing the advantages. Socrates has described it. Thiruvalluvar, one of the greatest poets from Tamil Nadu, has described it. And of late, Colin Campbell, a link for his book is also attached here. He has also described it. I literally don't take any credit for it. Colin Campbell, in his book, studying the country of China for a long time, over 40 years, he came up with some striking, simple conclusions. Very strong study. And he says, had I known this fact that I know today, I could have saved my father from a heart attack and so many family members from other disease processes. So it's worth a read at the end. So I would say 7 simple steps to a healthy life. So this is where it should all start. I cannot wave my magic stick, but it's up to you to start this and consider doing at least part of it. Even if you're not able to do 100%, do as much as you can. The first thing is avoid highly processed, refined food and drink. I'll go into each category later and give you more information on this. Avoid, if possible, completely or reduce meat, dairy, fish, and all animal products. No exceptions. No seed oils. Seed oils cause a lot more disease today than it's well known of. Very often we think, oh, I'm going to Madurai. Oh, Madurai parota is very nice. Everybody is telling you. But you don't know how much oil is in it and what sort of oil they're using. So the problem is eating out and delivery, so many apps, the food that's coming in is tasty to the tongue, but it's a slow poison. That is a problem. I'm not saying don't eat any of it, but try to avoid it and have it maybe a little bit of slow poison once in a while as a treat. Don't do it regularly, which is the main reason for increasing levels of diseases today. One of the reasons, I would say. What is going to protect you is less frequent eating or fasting. Meditation, regular physical activity, and avoiding pharmaceutical products, chemical antiseptics, and antibiotics. I have to say, what many doctors don't know, the third leading cause of death in the world is not from diseases, it's not from injuries, it is from pharmaceutical products, chemicals, antiseptics, antibiotics. And these are not even, the death is not even due to major error in administration. It's actually well-known side effect and complications. It's actually the main cause of the death. In other words, we doctors are prescribing medicines in good faith. It does help to some extent, but it causes more harm than good. This is one of the things why I advise people to try and avoid medications if possible. Try and pursue a healthy lifestyle. Sugar is there everywhere today, except the pure air we breathe. But that air is polluted with so many contaminants, but thankfully not sugar. Sugar is highly rewarding. It's more addicting than cocaine itself. So people are addicted to sugar. And sugar may not be in the form of sugar, but it's masquerading as in so many names and shades and shapes. So we'll go into the what are all the things in brief detail and try and avoid all this. So most common health conditions, including being overweight, metabolic syndrome, which is a forerunner of most common diseases, inflammatory diseases, everything that we know of today is caused by sugar and similar products. These are the major culprits. And it can also lead to mental illnesses. Epilepsy. It's not the obvious open sugar, but there is hidden sugar. People think fruit juices here are fantastic for health and drink it left and right. But these are not sugar solutions. Even if you make it yourself, by releasing the sugar from the fruits, you are making it very unhealthy. So any of these foods, birthday cakes, are very harmful. So all these contain sugar-like chemical called high fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup is actually more damaging than the sugar. It's like 20 times more sweet, but this is actually causing more disease in the world today. And this is a time bomb Japanese have thrown on the rest of the world in revenge for throwing atomic bombs onto the Japanese cities. So it was banned in Japan for many years, but even Japanese are suffering the ill effect because it's used in Japanese industry as well now. So you might think these foods are innocuous, but these are similar to sugar. They only release sugar a little bit later on, but any kind of bread, puffed bread especially, plain white rice, pasta, potatoes, cooked root vegetables are not good for you. They are also sugar, might release a sugar content a little bit later, but still harmful to you. So sugar was produced in the Indian subcontinents in ancient times. It wasn't easily available in the rest of the world, but now Indian sugar has invaded everywhere, thanks to the Portuguese guy Vasco da Gama took the sugar to Lisbon and then to the rest of the world. For the vegetarians today, bone char is what is used to filter the sugar. So think it's a vegetarian product, it is not. Okay? Sugar and inflammation, there are 10,000 plus articles in PubMed, which is one of the sites for medical publications. Even though that is there, many doctors are unaware of it. And that's because the powerful sugar industries, you should read the China study book. It tells you all about the industries run by most powerful, richest people in the world from America are acting like a mafia. And they rule the world effectively by dictating the policy of the American government, which in turn filters down to other governments and definitely rules the medical textbooks. So there is no medical textbook that is free from what I would say information that the industry wants you to have. So this is one of the problems. So even though there are so many publications, it's still not very well known in the medical community. And medical doctors don't know much about insulin resistance also. The more often we take sugar in a high carb diet, which is a typical of Indian, more so of South Indian diet, we are releasing more sugar into the body quickly, more insulin is released. More the insulin resistance. And that the most important problem today is the insulin resistance. And eventually they become a diabetic, but the high levels of insulin and insulin resistance unleashes all the havoc. And it's one of the main reasons for metabolic syndrome, forerunner of most common diseases, including cancers, heart disease, stroke, diabetes, etc. So when you're having insulin resistance, your body physiology changes. You tend to be overweight, but I have to tell you now, there are small number of people who may not be overweight, but they still have a lot of fat around the pancreas and liver. And this is equivalent to external obesity. This is visceral obesity. And they can be thin outside, but they're fat inside. We call them tophi. Thin outside, fat inside. And these people are same as obese individuals. Whatever they eat, they cannot burn it in the tissues. They are constantly hungry, like ever. And they keep eating like there's no tomorrow. But the hunger never goes away because they're not burning the sugar in the cells. So this vicious cycle needs to be broken down. And you can break it down with the advice I can give you. Otherwise, you can run 1,000 marathons. you are not going to lose any weight. I guarantee that. While physical activity is useful, that is not really going to make a great deal of change unless you follow my advice or in principles of it. Not strictly what I say, but the principles of it. And there is scientific basis for everything I say. If anybody has any doubt, obviously they can raise it here and even in the WhatsApp group forum as well. So you think of common diseases today. These are some of the common diseases. Apart from road traffic accidents, most other illnesses, I would say, come from what you eat and drink. In other words, you are eating cancer. Not many people know that. They all worry cancer incidents going up and up and up. When I was a medical student in Madras, the bowel cancer operation, we had something like 2 or 3 a year. But now I'm told in Chennai alone, they do more than 20 a day in few hospitals, few big centers. That does not include unknown hospital. So the incidence of bowel cancer, breast cancer, cancer was an unknown disease, but now you will know somebody who's got cancer, and maybe in your own family, or some of you might have had it also. So this is a curse you're facing with the modern society today because of what we eat and drink. So how can I avoid it? I told you sugar and sugar, hidden sugar and sugar substitute, avoid it completely, cut it out. If you really want to eat, once in a while a small treat. That's it. That's the end of it. Don't buy store. Let it be Diwali. Don't make 20 different types of sweets and distribute the poison to everybody. And savories are not good either, which I said already, no seed oils. Okay? When it comes to carbohydrate, don't eat the carbs I mentioned earlier and use a combination of brown, red, and black rice. 1/10 to 1/5 can be black rice. Black rice is a seed, grass seed. It contains chemicals called polyphenol, which is a fantastic chemical to remove all the poison from a body. We call these chemicals that remove poison from the body as antioxidants. Antioxidants are present only in plant-based food, never in animals. Animals cannot remove the toxin themselves. So the antioxidants are present in vast quantity in black rice. And using a combination of brown and red rice with black gives you a very slow release of sugar, not rapid rise as it occurs in polished white rice. And even this rice, don't eat huge quantities. Our sadhus and priests advised us to have a handful. What a fist of a hand can hold is that amount of cooked rice you should eat. So don't eat more than that. If you don't like the above rice, at least use white parboiled rice. Like mata rice, Kerala mata rice is better. Cook a combination of rice and lentils. Like this is a typical African way of doing it. They cook parboiled rice and black-eyed beans, tattapair we call it, in equal quantity, and that's the only rice they eat. So you're reducing the amount of rice by using the lentils. Lentils are fantastic. We'll see the advantage of eating lentils in the next few slides. Eat 2 to 3 portions of cooked vegetables, but if possible, more raw vegetables. Salads, minimum 1 to 2 portions, but people trying to reverse disease like diabetes, I would advise only raw vegetables, only raw salad initially, not cooked vegetables, because the glycemic index of how quickly the vegetables release sugar glycemic index is high or they release the sugar quickly when you cook vegetables. But when you eat them raw, the nutritional content is more, sugar release is very slow. Okay? The lentils, at least one portion lentil, legumes, beans with each meal. So typical South Indian food is sambar every day, lots of lentils. But even then, the problem is they eat huge amount of white rice. That is one of the problems. And in the north, it's mainly roti. Again, wheat is not any better than rice. I have to say, wheat has got a special problem in a number of people as well. Apart from intolerance, there is a subclinical level of intolerance as well. So I have suggested some alternate way of making roti as well. Rice is an ancient grain, whereas wheat has been grown for maybe 200 plus years only, not as ancient as rice. So there are some advantages in eating rice, but millets are really the best. So I'm giving you some practical suggestion if anybody wants to follow. Idli or dosa, sometimes staple diet in South India. In fact, these are popular food in the north as well. But instead of using rice, you can substitute it with horse gram or lentils like moong dal. Or dosa combination, millets like bajra, ragi, rice pelt, or even gram flour, horse gram, can substitute the rice. You can use black rice as a proportion as well. These are very tasty and they are very low GI foods. Chapati or roti, you can use a similar recipe without urid dal. But if you do like to use some wheat, use a whole wheat flour. Do not use maida or fine wheat flour. Most bakery items, parota, puris are done with refined, highly refined flour, which is a maida type. They're the most harmful and highly inflammatory food. So cut it out completely. Sides, you should try to eat more sides like sambar, coconut veg and lentils, less of the main. So dunk, float your idlis, dosa in sambar and chutneys. More sambar and chutney, which is lentil. So the lentils are what we call resistant starch. They are not absorbed in the small intestine mostly. Only a little bit of absorption. Mostly they go into the large intestine where there are lots of healthy yeast and bacteria and they feed them happily. We'll be talking about that again in the later slides. Adding nuts and lentil protein with vegetables increase the bioavailability of micronutrients, but nuts have to be consumed in very small quantity. So the vegetables contains lots of micronutrients and phytonutrients, phytochemicals. What we talk about, fat, carbohydrate, and protein, these are macro, big nutrients. We don't need them. We can live without them happily forever.
Hello, Ravi? Ravi? Ravi?